Hi everyone, this is William from the Headphone Experience, and I'm here tonight with my first impressions of the LSA HP-Diamond headphone. First of all, I wanted to thank LSA for loaning these to me for review. I'm actually one of the very first to get a hold of a pair of these. I don't think they're even available yet. And in fact, the serial number on this pair is 003, so this is one of the very first of these out. These are made for LSA by Kennerton. That's Kennerton Audio out of St. Petersburg, Russia, like all the LSA headphones so far. And so far there's been the LSA 1, the LSA 2, and the LSA 3, and I have to wonder why this is called the LSA Diamond instead of the LSA 4, but not sure. I'm trying to find out the reason for the name Diamond. My understanding is these will sell for $19.99, and that's in US dollars. This is a wired, full-size, over-the-ear, open back design, and you can clearly see the grills on these and probably see the cloth inside. These use magnetic drivers, or planar magnetic drivers. It's not a dynamic driver, but a planar magnetic, and from what I've read about this, they're using a new aluminum backing plate on the drivers to reduce weight, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. The impedance is rated at 38 ohms, and the sensitivity at 106 decibels at 1 milliwatt. So even though these are planar magnetic drivers, which are usually pretty hard to drive, these are actually very easy to drive, but that is usually the case with pretty much every Kennerton headphone that I've heard. But I think these are even easier than some of the others. This doesn't take much of an amp to drive these, really. The ear cups on these are made of a solid piece of wood that is machined into, the grill also. That not only the ear cup, but the grill is all made out of one piece of wood. And I believe this is a maple, and it's got, it's real shiny. It has a thick coat of varnish or some sort of sealer. I don't know what it is, but anyway, they're really shiny and really nice looking. The ear pads, like all Kennerton headphones, they're made of real lambskin leather. These are tapered in the back, thicker in the back and thinner in the front, and very soft, very comfortable. And the head strap, which is self-adjusting, is also covered in lambskin leather. And you can see how they swivel here. They do have a little bit of flex this way and flex this way, and they just pretty much self-adjust when you put them on. You just put them on your head. That way, if you're sharing the headphone one person to another, you don't have to readjust anything. They adjust right to your head almost instantly. The weight of these, and this is, I don't think it's on their website, but according to my scale, they weighed in at 413 grams, which is actually very light for a full-size headphone like this. If I remember right, I think the Hi-Fi Man Aria weighed in at about 420 grams, so pretty close to the same. And the Aria is built almost entirely out of plastic to reach that light weight. So these, having real leather, real wooden ear cups and all that, it's incredible how light these actually are. And I did want to show you these up close. Let you get a good look at them. And I did want to mention they come with the earplugs, or the connectors at the ear cups are 4-pin mini XLRs. And the cable that came with these, it's about 2 meters long. It has the 4-pin mini XLRs at the headphone end, and it has a 6.3 millimeter or 1/4 inch single-ended plug at the amp end, and it's covered in a nice soft braided cloth, very flexible, and doesn't make any noise at all rubbing on itself. You won't pick that up in the headphones at all. It actually, I think it does say Kennerton right on the cable here. So I'm not sure if this is the cable that will come with them, but anyway, that pretty much verifies that these were made by Kennerton, having the Kennerton cable. Well, I guess it's possible you could throw a Kennerton cable in with anything, but I can assure you these are made by Kennerton for LSA. So anyway, I wanted to talk about the comfort first, and like I said, they are very light, they're self-adjusting. I really feel almost no clamping force on these at all, and even though there isn't, they don't move around. I mean, I can lean forward, I don't have to worry about them falling off, they don't move on my head. These are extremely comfortable. I mean, if you've tried a Hi-Fi Manaria, it's one of the most comfortable headphones in the world, and these are pretty much right up there with it. Very soft ear pads, very little clamping force, lightweight, well distributed. You can't really beat these as far as comfort is concerned. So this is my first impressions, and I don't want to try to dig too deep into the sound of these yet because I just haven't had a whole lot of time listening to them. I mean, it's been several hours, but a headphone like this, I need to put probably 25-30 hours in on this headphone before I feel ready to do a full review. So I'm just going to touch in on the sound a little bit. And the very first thing I noticed when I put these on my head is the sound is just absolutely crystal clear, just so clean and detailed, and the resolution is just outstanding. I mean, these are without a doubt one of the most clear, detailed headphones I have ever heard. Probably the most detailed headphone I have heard would be the Kennerton Woden. And to be honest, these do sound a lot like the Kennerton Woden, and the Kennerton Woden, like these, has a one-piece wooden ear cup and grill combination, but if you remember, the grills run the other way. They run up and down. And so when I do a comparison later on, I haven't really compared these to anything yet, so that's one of the first headphones I do want to compare these to, because the Woden is one of my favorite headphones of all time and one of the best sounding headphones I have ever heard. So that will be pretty much what I'm going to be comparing these to. I also have a couple other headphones that I'll probably do a little comparing to. I'll talk about that in a minute. Getting back to the sound though, the second thing I notice is these are just pretty much dead on neutral. Just a perfectly flat frequency response as far as I can hear. I don't hear any peaks, I don't hear anything missing, I don't hear anything exaggerated or emphasized. Just perfectly flat. And because of that, they do not emphasize the bass. So if you are a bass head, this is probably not the headphone for you. This is a very neutral, very accurate type of headphone that you're probably going to want to use to listen to orchestral music or acoustical music, that sort of thing. If you're a big fan of electronic dance or even rock or pop or whatever, this might not really be the headphone, because it's, like I said, it's just perfectly flat, very accurate, and probably was intended more for acoustical and orchestral type of music. The imaging on these seems to be outstanding. There is exceptional separation between the instruments, and they're very easy to locate. They, the voices, everything, nothing blurs together. Everything is very distinct with these headphones. The sound stage isn't huge. That's one thing I did notice comparing these to the Woden. The Woden does have a wider sound stage. These are a little more centered and a little more intimate. The voices are right in the middle, and you do get some sounds out to the sides, but not super far out. It doesn't have a huge amount of width of the soundstage. Like I said, I would describe it as a little more centered and intimate. So I'm not going to try to go too much further into the sound. I will, and something I did want to talk about though, is in the past I've reviewed a couple of LSA headphones and several Kennerton headphones. And Kennerton, the ear pads, these, what comes stock on these is called the ECL01. And they also make an ECL02, which the only difference I know of is the perforations are a little bit smaller. But what it does is it adds about 3 decibels to the bass, the sub bass and the mid bass. And I will be honest, I personally like a headphone with just a slight emphasis in the bass. I don't like them quite perfectly flat neutral, because I do listen to a lot of most of the music I listen to is acoustical, but I do listen to some rock, and occasionally I do like a little bit of emphasis in the bass. So the Kennerton ECL02 ear pads provide that about 3 decibels of boost that puts them right in the right range for me. Because actually I did try this the other night using the Shit Loki 4-band equalizer, and I tried giving these about 3 decibels of boost at 20 hertz, which would be about 2 o'clock on the dial. Just a little bit, and I actually preferred it that way. That little bit of extra bass boost made them sound perfect to me, and you can do that by switching the ear pads over to the ECL02s and get the same effect. So I actually asked LSA to send me a pair of ECL02 ear pads so I could try it out with those before I did my full reviews. So I'm going to include my my listening with both ear pads in my final review, and that will hopefully come out in a couple of weeks. I did also want to mention that I tried this with the Felix Audio Echo, which is a I forgot what I was going to say, an OTL type of tube amp, output transformerless tube amp. And this isn't, usually a planar headphone isn't an ideal match for a tube amp of that type, but actually I really like the way it sounded. The Felix Audio Echo gave this a little bit of extra warmth and a little bit of smoothness, and kind of took the edge off a little bit. And I personally really like that amp with almost any headphone, and these did sound really good with that amp. And that amp isn't real expensive. It's only about I think about a $675 amp, and it really did make these sound good. Most of my other listening was with my Audio GD Master 9, and I've got a couple other amps in that I tried this with, including the Topping A50S, D50S stack, and the iFi Neo ISDS combination amp and DAC, and they sound good with whatever I listen to it with, but really did like it with the Felix Audio tube amp. So anyway, in the next couple weeks I'm going to do some comparisons between this and the Kennerton Woden, which seems to be a very similar headphone. And I also have the ZMF Verite in right now, and I need to get my full review out on that. I did my first impressions probably about 3 weeks ago. I need to get working on that, and I'm probably going to do a comparison of these and that headphone, which what does that sell for? About $2,700 the way it came, and the wood it's made in. It's a little more expensive. Has quite a bit different sound to it, but I like them both a lot, so I'm gonna probably do a comparison, or at least use that to compare to this headphone for my review. I don't know if I'll actually do an actual comparison video, but I guess that just kind of depends on how much time and where I'm at, because I do have a lot of equipment coming in the near future, probably this week. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. Yeah, I really do like these so far. It's one of the cleanest, clearest, most detailed headphones I've ever heard. And I will get back to you in probably 2-3 weeks with a full review on these. So in the meantime, well, once again, this is William from the Headphone Experience. If this video has helped you, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you are all welcome to join us at the Headphone Experience on Facebook. We've added about, I think, 600 members in just the last couple of weeks. We're up to about 10,300 members. So a lot of great people over there and a lot of information about headphones. So please join us over there. And once again, thanks for watching my video.